It's beer o'clock on Real Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from Maisel and Friends, and it's a bottle of their Choco Porter coming in at 6.5% ABV. Brand new beer from Maisel and Friends. There's the bottle cap. Let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the opening. I am a big fan of Maisel and Friends beers. A lot of you may have tried Maisel Weiss, their classic Weiss beer. That's where you might know the name. They've got a craft beer arm now, over to the left there, or to the right, wherever you are in politics. And a lot of their IPAs, they make a Matt's chocolate bock, I think, which is fabulous. They've made IPAs, fruit beers, fruit IPAs, wonderful Weizen bocks have had. Great beers. And now a chocolate porter. A chocolate porter then, let's have a look at the carbonation. The carbonation is very good. The head's dissipated quite quickly. It's a very dark looking beer in the glass. Looks kind of like a dark mild, to be honest. Let's get the aroma. Oh, wow. Had a letter from these guys when I unboxed the beer, and it said that because of the German purity law, is it the Reinheitsgebot? Something like that, yeah. That they could only use malt, hops, water and yeast. Yet for all the world, you would think there was chocolate and a bit of hazelnut and some big bread in this beer. It's so nutty. It's so lovely and nutty. Hazelnuts and chocolate. Smells like a Snickers or a Marathon or whatever a Snickers is in German. I'm gonna dive in. It smells fantastic. That's really clever. Maisel Weiss, of course, big brewery. Not gonna deny it, but they've used all of their expertise, all of their tradition, all of their heritage, all of their beer logs. You know, the brewer's logs that kind of date back from hundreds of years ago, where they've written in all of the ingredients, what they've learned. They've used all of that tradition and heritage to brew a beer that tastes like a chocolate porter with real chocolate and real hazelnuts, but as I mentioned, only has malted barley, hops, yeast and water. Well done to Maisel and Friends on this. It's a good beer. So it's easy drinking, it's nicely carbonated, it's got a nice kind of stickiness to it on the back end, a nice mouthfeel as you would expect from a porter. But then the roasted malts are really kind of, and the hops are playing such a vital part in making you think that it's a chocolate porter. And I really want to drum that in, that the most impossible task, well, not the most impossible task, but to be able to convince probably mostly the German public. You never see the Maisel and Friends beers in the UK. It's just that I got a fantastic contacts out there at Maisel and Friends, and I feel like I'm part of their kind of friends, you know, that they send me their craft beers. That it's amazing that they managed to kind of pull this off. This would mainly be in the German market, and I would love to be a fly on the wall in a German beer bar, maybe as the fly on the wall, sitting there while 60 plus in years German blokes sit there, and you know, you get your Maisel people coming in saying, try this, and they open it, and you know, of course they're very conscious of the purity though, and they probably, the first thing they do is have a look at the back of the label to see if there's anything else added to the beer, and of course it's not. I just wonder what people would think. Generally, I think a lot of people would like this. I certainly love it. I think what a fantastic thing to do with the constraints of the Reinheitsgebot. It's very, you know, it's almost impossible for a brewer to throw some vanilla in or throw some cacao beans, you know, into the beer and make it a real chocolate porter. That's the constraints of the German beer industry. But they've managed to do it without all of the vanilla, without the cacao nibs. They've produced a fantastic chocolate porter with the 4 core ingredients that are required for the Reinheitsgebot. You've heard enough from me. This beer is fantastic. Let's rate it. .5% ABV. Looks fantastic in the glass. Looks great on the shelf. Look at that. Choco Porter in Germany. You're going to want to pick that one up. You know, if you walk into a bottle shop and you see, oh, Choco Porter, I'll have that. It's a bit different. It doesn't disappoint. Looks good in the glass. Smells good in the glass. Tastes fantastic. Really does. I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 from Real Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up, boom, and cheers.